Hello, this is Peter, and thank you so much for tuning in to another week's News Plus brought you from Plus Agency. News Plus channel is going to summarize what has happened in Sydney real estate market in about last week. And if you're interested in this type of content, please make sure you subscribe to the channel and forward this video to your friends and families who also needed it. Plus Agency is a boutique agency operated from the heart of Chatswood, located on 418 Victoria Avenue. If you need property in the Lower North Shore, Upper North Shore, CBD or Eastern Suburb, or some of the waterfront areas, please let us know. We'll be more than happy to help. If you have a property in those areas you want to sell, please make sure to pay us a visit as well to enjoy some of the best services you can get on this market. Alright, with no further ado, let's get News Plus started. First one, top 10 Sydney suburb for renters on a budget. Sydney renters still have affordable options at hand despite properties in the most desirable and cheapest suburbs being rented out fast, a report has found. Research commissions by home moving platform Hood.ai has identified the top 10 Sydney suburbs for renters on an average salary with weekly rent costing hundreds of dollars less than the current median. The suburbs to make the list with 10k to about 58k from the Sydney CBD, with a median unit rent ranging from $335 a week to only about $375 a week. And what will be these areas? Number one, Roselands in Canterbury, roughly about 13 kilometers from CBD, and then the median rent is only about $335 a week. And then Croydon Park, which is very surprising to be on this list because Croydon Park is very close to Strathfield and Ashfield, considered a very reasonable location, and only 10k from CBD, and the median rent is only about $350 per week. Followed by Jordan Springs, Rose Hill, West Ryde, North Parramatta, Penhurst, Narby, Glenfield, and Oran Park. Some of the very sound names, and then the income of these areas are pretty high. Like Oran Park, despite the rent is only $375 a week, the median house income in the area is actually $2,194, considering a high income but low rent area. Next one, the iconic Glen Murcutt Woollahra offering Little More House sold for $5.1 million plus. The real opportunity to secure a Glen Murcutt architectural gem in the metropolitan Sydney, in Woollahra, has now finally appeared. The 1986 contemporary pavilion-style home with the garden courtyard and the long facade facing north onto the small park was auctioned by the River Double Bay, offered $5.1 million price guide, fetched a little bit higher, but at an undisclosed price in Sydney's private auctions. It looks like good properties in the good location, despite people talking about the market slowing down, are still selling. This is a beautiful home that was commissioned in about 1983 after buying the Climster Lane building block for only $55,000 in 1976. And this is absolutely architectural gem. You can see the property looking onto the beautiful pocket park. It's got glasses surrounding the staircases. The interior may look a little bit outdated, considering what nowadays market looks like, and especially the internal finishes are really stretching to the next level. But people are still thinking this is the good, considering the location, Woollahra, and also the beautiful architect that has offered in this particular property. Alright, next one. Morning Show's Kelly Gillens sells her Manhattan-style unit in Camberdown. So another celebrity sell, make money for the celebrity. Alright, the Morning Show Kelly Gills and her husband, former AAP editor-in-chief Tony Gillis, put their Camberdown apartment investment up for auction over the weekend to earn a very handful profit. And then it was sold for $1.265 million on Saturday after 19 bids came from 5 out of 10 bidders after $990,000 opening bid. The 7 Network veteran has owned the recent renovated apartment since paying only about $510,000 in 2002. So the profit itself is actually quite handful. But of course, the finishes has been significantly improved, and the unit was sold 50% more than what it was bought for. Property is very beautifully finished. Looks like if you had the right location and if you had done the right thing, you are still making money regardless how the market reacts. Next one, Western Sydney braces for housing shortage. The level of social and affordable housing in Western Sydney has failed to keep up with the demand, placing valuable groups at risk homelessness. Wow. A report commissioned by the Western Sydney Leadership Dialogue found that the supply of social and affordable housing has not kept up with the demand and has worsened the impact of rising house and rental stress. In New South Wales alone, the report found that there are more than 50,000 households on the wait list for social housing. By 2036, the state is expecting to see affordable housing shortfall of 316,700 units, with the Western Sydney region alone experiencing a shortage of 28,200 units. One of the state's biggest community housing providers in Australia, Link Wentworth, is attempting to use the report to highlight the benefit that will come from stronger policies for government housing in addition to social and affordable housings. So let's just see how we're going, and especially when the election is coming up, there's a lot of debate around this area, and we're pretty sure that people are looking into something like this, and it would be a problem if it hasn't been solved. Next one, stop complaining. A millionaire property investor defies plans to buy 1,000 homes. My God. Property millionaire Eddie Dulin has 42 homes. He's planning to buy just a little bit more. A Sydney-based real estate investor who owns 42 homes and has set his sights on acquiring 1,000 properties has revealed that he and other investors have had a market impact in driving up home prices. Eddie has been one of the country's most prolific purchasers in recent years, sniping up more than 20 properties in the past 2 years alone. He started his investment journey while working at McDonald's as a low-income earner and has bought most of his properties through a system of leverage. This involved driving joint equities out of previous purchases through refinancing agreements to fund the upfront cost of additional property buys. It is an approach that has attracted controversies as the investors armed with refinancing credit account for a large share of housing demand and often compete for the same housing as for first home buyers. Obviously, he and the other investors with large property profiles have attracted occasionally criticism on social media, with some accusing them stockpiling properties that could have been bought by the first home buyers. But other social media users have claimed that investors with large property profiles were the symptom of problems in the banking system. But for him, who said it was his goal to own 1,000 homes, explained that the housing market need property buyers like him. The government can't supply housing for everyone is physically impossible, he said, adding the investors help supply the country with vital renting housing. He also brushed off claims he was derivating first home buyers of opportunities to get into the market by pointing out that the first time purchasers receive much more support than he need, which is true really. I mean, the first home buyers in Sydney are really blessed. Speculative purchasing from investors was also a significant driver of home prices rising in some markets, but it was hard to qualify how much investors has contributed to the increases. We need investors in the market, but this may be a debate forever, and people are always gonna fight about this. But to be able to own homes instead of go for 1,000 homes, that's really good if you are thinking become an investor. Definitely his plan and what he does is something that's right for you. Next one, the Sydney region tipped for growth in property prices in 2022. More affordable Sydney markets are tipped to see strong activity in 2022 as first home buyers and upgraders knuckle down following a year of soaring prices. Infrastructure development, affordability concerns, and the return of overseas migrants will lead up to the sustained demand in cheaper and middle markets, despite the top end showing signs of decline, said the property expert Terry Ryder. This comes following a year of standout performance across Sydney. In the latest hotspotting price predictor index for autumn, Mr. Ryder positioned 206 suburbs as rising markets based on an increase in quarterly sales activities over the 2 years in January 2022. While sales activity in the most expensive region of Sydney has since started to fade, Ms. Ryder said he's still expecting strong activity in areas such as Blacktown, Liverpool, and Parramatta, as well as the apartment market across Sydney, as first-home buyers re-evaluated their options. Upsizers were expected to focus on markets such as Sutherland Shine, which offers lifestyle appeal at a fraction of the prices of the historical popular northern beaches and eastern suburbs. There is evidence emerging some of the top ends of the market are slowing down, but it's not across the board in Sydney. And I would expect Sydney to have overall moderate growth this year, but I don't expect it to have an overall price decline. And it looks like that's a very popular opinion for a lot of people. Alright, as usual, we are going to introduce a property that was featured not in the traditional really popular CBD area. It's not something that Plaza Agency always does, but it looks like, with Ms. Ryder's position, this area could be booming, which is the heart of the West, the Parramatta. We had this 3-bedroom plus study penthouse of 173 square meters available on the market for auction very soon. This is a beautiful design east-facing property on the top floor with European appliances, tiled floor, has 3 very good size bedrooms plus 2 very nice size and finished bathroom, 2 car spaces side by side in the basement with additional storages overlooking the central courtyard, which consists of a gym, children play area, and plenty of greens. This is only about a few minutes walk to the future planning bridge, and crossing the bridge is about the future planned light rail, which are under construction at the moment. So if you are looking for somewhere in the heart of the West, have a budget starting from 800,000 to about $1 million, then this property is something you definitely need to check out. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's News Plus, brought you from Plus Agency. This is Peter Lee. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.